So in this video I'm going to be showcasing KeyAuth. KeyAuth is just an open source authentication system. If you don't know what that is, it basically gives you the ability to add a user login to your application or your website if it is. I'm basically going to be covering every single thing that I possibly can in regards of this auth, just because this is probably the best auth that you will ever find, and it will be highly recommended for anything that you decide to make. So coming into it, once you come to keyauth.com, you'll see that the landing page is nice. It has everything that a server should have, everything from pictures of the setup, what it is, the security features, how many accounts, applications, licenses, and this actually has the uptime of the current, the last month, 99.98%. That's not bad for an auth system. It has tutorials as well as a link to the GitHub for the examples that are made. We will get into that in a later part of the video. They have their vouchers. Now, obviously, there are way more vouchers than this. If you go to their Discord channel, and their Discord will be down in the link below, or if you go to keyauth.com and scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, you can also find it there. It tells you about all the features that they have. Now, keep in mind, there has been a few updates, and there are more features that are listed here. But obviously, the main ones, being the encryption, hardware, ID lock, the blacklist, the DDoS protection, server-sided webhooks, variables, as well as files, and then the seller API, which we will get into later. Now, probably the best part about this auth is the prices. $0 for a tester, and you already have 50 users. You also have 10 megabytes of space, your variables, logs, hardware, blacklist, and then if you decide you need to upgrade, just $10 a year, and you get all this extra stuff. You go from 50 users to unlimited, which is a pretty good deal considering the fact that they also throw in all this extra stuff. And then if you need to get even bigger and would like to use even more, then you can come over here to the seller subscription, which is only $19.99 a year. And all these plans have a 7-day money back if you don't like it. Now, another feature that was just recently added, if you would like to test out the developer plan or the seller plan before you purchase it, you can actually go to the Discord, and they have the username and password for testing accounts that you can log into, test out features, create applications, everything that is here you can do. Now obviously, since it is a demo account, you can actually log in and keep the account. It will log you out, obviously for security reasons, to make it fair for everyone else. And then here's their Discord link down below. Now, actually jumping into the website. Once you come to the website, if it's your first time, you should have something that looks like this, giving you the option to create an app. So we will just create an app, new app 123, and click on submit. And then it will refresh. Now you should be here, your licenses page. Here you will have the ability to change and create a new application, rename it, pause the app as well as the users, refresh the application secret, as well as delete the entire application and all the users and data that is stored in it. The application secret is what is covered right here, and this will basically be helpful when you actually set up your application. Now, a few options that you actually have for the license is, one, obviously, is create key. You can set the amount, the mask, which is basically the format of it, the level. You can set a note. You can choose from the units, So, day, minutes, hours, seconds, weeks, months, um, and then in years, and then you can also set the duration here. So if we just, go ahead and do that, then you will see, new key created. And then when you manage it, you can, delete, ban, unban, and edit. And if you edit, you basically just have the ability to change the key level, the unit, and the basically duration, so the expiry. Another cool feature about the licenses is that if you're coming from another Auth service and you would like to import all your keys, then you have the option to do so. Here it basically tells you the format that you need, and just making sure that the levels, if you create subscriptions, match, and that's literally all you have to do. And it's basically like you never lost your keys. You can add the time to, the keys with the same duration. Is also download all the keys, delete them, delete only the unused keys, as well as delete all the used keys. And then down here below, which you will basically see on every page, are these 5 options: copy, CSV, Exfil, PDF, as well as print. So that's pretty much it for the licenses page. It has some good options, a lot that will come in handy, especially if you have a large user base. Now actually getting into the users tab, here you can create your user. So if you don't want someone to actually register with a key, you can just go ahead and give them a username and password, and change the subscription as well as the expiration for it. You can set a variable which can be retrieved from your application. So if you wanted something like hidden for whatever reason, or you just wanted to like output a certain way, you could use variables for it. You also have the import users. Nice format, just username, hardware ID, days, slash username, hardware ID, days. So that's basically how you would do it, like user by user. You can extend the users, delete, delete only the expired, as well as hardware ID reset all users. Getting into the use subscriptions, this is basically like the same thing as a leveling system. So the default subscription, is level 1. Come over here and manage it. You can edit it. And then you can change the level of it. If you're creating a license and you want the subscription on that license, just make sure that the subscription level and the license actually matches. And a new feature that was recently added yesterday is the ability to have chat rooms in your application. I think there's only one other auth that I know of that actually has it, so you can chat with your users via your application. So it's pretty cool that KeyAuth has added this in. It just makes it way more, user friendly. Actually have the ability to talk to people without having to go to Discord or some other third party, chat application. So here you would just set your, your channel name, the chat cooldown in units. So, if you want to set it like a month, like here you go, they send a message and then boom, they can't do it for like a month. So that's basically all that is. And also clear the channel, and if you mute a user, you will have the ability to mute people in your chat. You can unmute them as well. Going into the sessions, which is another cool feature that was recently added. Obviously I don't have any sessions because this is a new application, but you will be able to basically see the ID, credential, expiration, if it's authenticated, and then you can be able to manage and see the actual sessions that are going on within your application, which is pretty handy. It's pretty cool to see how many people are actually on your application. Here, webhooks, the secure, server-sided webhooks. you can add here the webhook endpoint, and it tells you exactly what it is if you want to pause the video and take a look at it. And then the user agent, and then obviously the default. And it gives you an option if it's authenticated or not. So, if checked, KeyAuth will force user to be logged in to use. Now, so if you uncheck it, then the user does not have to be logged in order to use the actual webhook itself. And the next tab we have is the Files tab. And of course, this is also secure. Basically downloading files from KeyAuth, server side. So all you would have to do is put the direct download link of the file here, and then just add it. I don't know if it will work if I just do this, since it's not really a file. Okay, so it should just download like the HTML of it, but you download it, and here's your file ID, and then you would just put this in and into your code, and then people can download it that way. Now if we're going into our variables, you can have it set to basically whatever you want, and it's basically a good way to actually retrieve, data without actually putting the string out there or the int out there. All you would have to do is put the name here, the data that it would be retrieving by that name, and then again you can decide if the user needs to be logged in or not in order to actually use that option. Here down is logs. You do have the ability to log every single thing that your users do. So if they log in, then you can send a log saying this user logged in this time, this date, whatever, or if they press a certain button, then this user pressed this button at this time. It comes in handy, especially if you want to see what they're actually doing, if they're doing something they're not supposed to, anything like that. Here you can create your blacklist. You have the options to blacklist a IP address or a hardware ID address. And then just whatever one you select, put it down here, and then it will be blacklisted. Going into the settings for the application itself, you can reset the program hash. You can check enable or disable the status as well as the HWID lock. You can enable or disable the VPN block as well as the hash check. Here it gives you the ability to do automatic updates. So if you would like to put the if you update your application, then all you would have to do is go change this as well as the one inside your application, and then put the new download link here. And if you're doing it like this, then make sure it's the direct download, or you can put just like the page to the download and they can download it that way, but I would recommend using the direct download and using like a web client. Here obviously you can do the webhook. You can set up your reseller store. You can enable or disable the customer panel. You had the cooldown for the HWID reset as well as the duration. The session expiration. If anything happens and it's an error, then you can customize your messages. So if it's disabled and someone tries to log in, then it will give this message saying that it is disabled. And same thing for all these down below. And you can change these if you want to, or keep them like that. It doesn't really matter. Down here, it gets into the reseller part. And this is all real simple. There's videos on it as well, and it breaks it down very well on how to set up the reseller store. Now going into the account, you can create accounts, and you can assign a role, either a reseller or a manager, and then the account application. So you can select the application that you want. Get the username, email, password, and allowed license levels. so the levels that they can and basically cannot create. We come over here to upgrade. You can obviously see I have them all, but if you don't, you just click it and it gives you multiple options, everything from just PayPal. You can pay with card if you want, Cash App, Venmo, just about Bitcoin, just about every single payment you can think of. KeyAuth has it. Going into the actual account settings, it will show you username, owner ID, when your subscription actually expires. You can change between dark and light, account logs. You can change the password profile, the username, email, and then down below you can actually see for here you can link your Discord, so you can actually add the Discord bot to your Discord as well. And then if you go to your actual account settings, you can add it so when you upgrade to a different plan, it gives you the corresponding role. So if you buy seller and then link your Discord to KeyAuth, then it will give you the seller role. And then over here, the secure chat, if you would like the secure chat in Discord, then you can click this link and it will basically tell you how to set it up. Now down here at the seller settings, this is basically all it is. It gives you your seller key as well as your seller link. And now this is where you actually add the Discord bot if you want to add it to your Discord. The other one in settings was just to link your accounts. So this is basically it for the actual site itself. The next thing I'm basically going to review is the documentation for the API for KeyAuth. So this is basically everything that KeyAuth has, mainly example-wise. There are maybe, like IMG UI and all that. And then here where it says we recommend implementing SSL pinning, we used to use actual SSL pinning, but don't anymore. It just helps a bit. So with the API, you have everything from showing you how to initialize it, register, login, license, the upgrade variable, and even logging. And then down here with the seller, as I said in the beginning, you can basically do everything on the site via your application. So for example, if I click on activate license, it's a GET and it's activating. And then this is the example URL. So you would put your seller key here. The type is activate. You would put your username here with the username that you want to activate, the key here, and then the password here. And then that's how you would activate your license. And then the last part is the examples from KeyAuth. As you can tell, the KeyAuth GitHub has basically everything that you need. It has the KeyAuth source code, every example that's supported, the Discord bot, as well as the seller API link for ties. So overall, that's KeyAuth. It's a great system. It's a great service. If you join the Discord, you're gonna find great people. It's a great community. And it basically has every single thing that you need. So if you're interested in setting up a user base for your application, or if you just want to mess around, make a custom chat room, you can do so. Just head over, keyauth.com, and then just go from there. And if you ever need help with anything with it, there's 24-hour support. 7 days a week. Just join the Discord and you can ask for help there, and people will assist you, point you in the right direction, and let you know basically everything that you need to know. If you do have any questions, or if you have a service or an application that you would like to have showcased, just comment it down below, and I will get back to you when I can. As always, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.